Have you ever thought for your service business, is it a good time? Is it the right time for me to potentially hire a bookkeeper? Well, here are 3 potential signs. My name is Tim Kraus. I'm the operations partner for Cornerstone CPA. We do bookkeeping, tax, and tax planning. We do bookkeeping for about 70 plus companies and taxes for about 300 companies. So we definitely have a lot of experience in this particular question right here. And there's definitely a time when it makes sense and a time when it doesn't make sense. We're going to go over that. So the number one sign is you are spending too much time on bookkeeping. As a service business owner, as the owner of the accounting firm here, or one of the partners, we're a service business. We hire people to do certain things, just like you as a service business. You get hired to do your specialty. We get hired to do our specialty. And as your business grows, especially as we're going to show later here, as you get above that $250,000 revenue mark, it starts making less and less sense for you to spend time on your bookkeeping. Or if you're doing a business as a side hustle and another job, and it doesn't make sense for that as well, then it also really makes sense to get an actual outsourced bookkeeper. Sign number 2, your books are behind and it's causing problems. If the words or the letters DOR mean anything to you or any sort of frustration, then that's definitely something that we run into all the time. Man, people really have a hard time with their books here. We don't do payroll. We outsource payroll to a partner that we do a lot of work with, and he's really, really good at payroll because we are based in Washington. We have bookkeeping clients from New Jersey, California, Arizona, Colorado, Florida, Washington, all over the place. But that's definitely, payroll in Washington is definitely a really big challenge, and dealing with the Department of Revenue is also a big pain in the butt too, especially if you're a service business where you have a reseller's permit and stuff like that. It could be really kind of a hassle to get all that squared away. So that's another problem. That's one of the many problems. Man, you could have all sorts of problems. You have trying to get a loan problems, trying to get a bond problems. There's so many problems you can get if your books are screwed up. And usually they're when your business gets a little bit bigger. When you're just starting off, that's not usually your biggest problem. Your biggest problem is you have no sales at the beginning, typically, or the fulfillment side's hard. But usually this is as you're starting to get a little bit bigger. Sign number 3, this one, you're not sure where your money is going. Again, as you get bigger, this will become more and more of an issue to understand where is your money actually going in your business. I have a video on the YouTube channel here for how to read a profit and loss for a service business owner, primarily looking at 4 numbers, 3 to 4 numbers, depends how you cut them up there. But where you're looking at your total income, your then gross profit, and then your actual net income. And what do those different sections mean? What do those words even mean? Is actually explained in another video over there. And how knowing those can actually help you know in your business so that you know where your money is going. That's what the profit and loss, balance sheet, and cash flow statement are really to help you, especially the cash flow statement, are really designed to help you know where your money is going. So, as far as for some revenue numbers, some recommendations that usually work for us. Now, again, this, of course, if someone wants to have a bookkeeper at lower levels than this, that totally makes sense. But in general, when you're around $250,000 a year, you're usually, especially because you're usually the one doing a lot of the fulfillment, so your gross profit margin is super high and you're making around $100,000 a year. Dollar for dollar, it starts making a lot of sense if you're just spending 5-6 hours a month doing your bookkeeping to bring in a bookkeeper. Then also, because being honest here, on the top end, then in general, not all the time, but for most of our businesses, when they get around that $2-3 million revenue mark, it makes sense. Also around the 23 person company, it makes sense to bring that bookkeeping in-house because now you have enough revenue to hire a bookkeeper full-time who's actually good enough to know what they're doing. We run into this all the time where people are here in the messy middle, in between these two, and they give bookkeeping or payroll, please don't do this with payroll, but they give bookkeeping to their office admin, to their office administrator. That person, that male or female, 90% of the time it's female, but they give that person the responsibility of bookkeeping, and they're well-intentioned, and unless they have training on actual how bookkeeping is, when your business is tiny, they might do fine. But as your business gets bigger and you get loans and you get assets and you get all the fun things that come in with actually running a business and playing this tax game that us entrepreneurs get to play, this is a very expensive place to be. And man alive, we see people really get messed up just so many different ways by not having a good bookkeeper. So again, if you're in the 250 range, usually from there up to about 2 or 3 million, really makes sense to have an outsourced bookkeeper because we're able to work with a high level of expertise, but on a very fractional basis where we're not spending 40 hours a week working in your books. We're spending what is required to get the job done, and then we're then having multiple clients obviously, but we are able to do it with a high level of professionalism. So the same thing probably you say to your clients as you run a service business, as I run a service business, is let the expert save you time and money. Probably the same thing you say when someone's considering painting their own house or doing your service, whatever your service is. It's the same pitch here, is that we specialize in bookkeeping, tax planning. It's what we do. It's what we talk about all the time. So if you're to that point to where, because there's always that equation of the time, because you have either time or money. And in the beginning, you have a lot more time and you have a little bit of money. As you grow your business, your time decreases and your money, if done right, should increase. When you're getting more to these stages where your time is getting tighter, my little dash marks here, and you're making a little more money, it really starts to make a lot of sense. So on our website, you can click a link and schedule a discovery call with us, and we can talk about if it would be a good fit for us to actually work together. If not, if you're under that 250 mark, I have a video on the website or on this YouTube channel with some really basic tips for how to start off your business to not screw up your books too terribly. But yeah, other than that, please reach out if you're interested. My name is Tim. I'm the operations partner with Cornerstone CPA. You have a great rest of your day. Thank you.